people suffering like the rest today. We see it, we don't do it nothing. Oh, like the rest, what we went through. We tired with war, we tired with destruction. We tired with tribalism, people just special interest. Special interest, we are tired. Rest today, we see it, we are doing nothing. Oh, that the rest in the last every people's life. At the end of the month, no salary, no salary. Oh, security day and the rest in the last every people's life. At the end of the month, no salary. The simple US coming from, and the simple the people carrying the US dollar.
Just in the market. We're telling my baby.
We're telling that.
Check it. See, love is the key. Together we can move on.
Yes.
No man won't trust you now that we can hold on. Move on is time to move on. There is no development that we can boast of. Kitty and fellow man chat for reaches. Cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman chat for reaches. Cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman won't go on out. Chat for reaches, cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman won't go on out. Till won't call. Look at that. Now a woman won't go on out. Till won't call. They increase the price of the something. Chat for reaches, cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. Look at that. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. They increase the price of the something in my say. They increase the price of the something in my say. I say, oh, we had it over. Development that we can boast of. Kitty and fellow man chat for reaches. Cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. Look at that. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. They increase the price of the something in my say. They increase the price of the something in my say. I say, oh, we had it over. I say, they increase the price of the something in my say. They're coming again, they're coming to fool us. We went down and out, we are Liberia is the one who we are. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Liberia, let us stop corruption to rebuild our great nation. Liberia don't be international community for our problems. Our problems is ourselves. Liberian suffering, Liberian today. We see it, we not doing nothing. Shoot number, just a jobber, market with me. You're not boss, listen to me. Liberian people are telling you. Liberian people. Development that we can boast of. Kitty and fellow man chat for reaches. Cause in the form invest all our heaches. Now because you want to take. My children never slave, no unity. We die in poverty. No attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now we stand divided, we go fall flat. Let's go fall flat. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. Look at that. Now a woman won't go on out till he won't call. They increase the price of the something in my say. They increase the price of passing the soft in the massive. Oh, we had it to massive. They're increasing the passing the soft in the massive.
They're coming again, they're coming to fool us. We went down and out, giving our belly. Liberia is the wonder who we are. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Liberians, let us stop corruption to rebuild our great nation. Liberians don't be international community for our problems. Our problems is ourselves. Liberians suffering, Liberian today. We see it, we not doing nothing. Shoot number, that's the trouble. Maggot with me, you're the boss, listen to me. Yeah. Liberian people are tired. Liberian people, we are tired. Liberian people, listen to me. Make the righteous in what they are. For your future, for generation to generation, make the righteous in what they are.
Let me say good afternoon from my end. Let me say good afternoon from my end, and welcome to this special edition of some discussions. Yeah. Today, as you can see, the topic there on the discussion. Taking on the bullies against the disabled community, and I'm saying that it is about time that the disabled people, especially in Liberia, to face their bullies one by one. Face them and tell them that you did not buy the disability, that your mother, when she was conceived with your pregnancy, she didn't wish that you should have been disabled. You got to face them right now and tell them the truth. When they bring it to you and you know it is right in your face, you must respond. The longer you give it time to go, the more they will step on you. The longer you give it to go, the more they will enjoy bullying you, and you'll be suppressed. And so this afternoon, from my end, if you have somebody in your family who is disabled, you have your child that is disabled, do not cast them away. Do not take words from the community, from others, telling you that indeed that disabled child will never ever make any meaningful contribution in your life. Do not believe them. Support your disabled child. Give them the support they need. The same way you're spending money for the other children, physically fit children, to go to school, spend money on that disabled child and help them to face the challenge and help them to withstand the bullies out there. Counsel them, support them. Because in this 21st century, which of course I'm really, really deeply sorry that we still have people who are still living in an age that doesn't belong on this planet Earth. And these individuals or these bullies are in our midst every day, and they continue to shatter the dreams of persons with disability. They see the albino person, they will laugh at them, they will tease them because of their skin color. They see that individual sitting in a wheelchair, they do not see any other thing, but they see that disability. When they see you walking funny or whatsoever it is to them, they don't see you as a human being. They see you as something else. When they see you with that cane and you're walking because you're blind and you're missing the road, instead of them helping you, they are laughing. That man is going, that woman is going to hit the wall. That man is going, that woman is going to fall in the ditch. They don't do anything, but rather they stand and tease, they laugh. And this thing from the society, from the community is now being brought on social media. But I'm here today, especially for my Liberian community. I know this particular video will be on YouTube and others will watch it in the other part of the world or so. But wherever people are with disabilities, I am speaking to everybody, because in our Liberian community, I am sick and tired of people still being bullies, tired of people still looking at person with disability to be useless in life, tired of hearing gossips about disabled people and referring to them as just crippled people. I'm tired of that. And because of this, I thank God I have my voice today. And this is the right time. And I will talk it back to them. You are wrong. You are wrong to laugh at anybody who have a disability. You are wrong, and you don't belong on this earth. You don't belong on this planet. If you think that because you are physically fit and that other individual is sitting in a wheelchair, that you are better than them, you are better than them, then you are absolutely wrong. And you do not have a place on this particular earth or planet. It's a shame that some of you are still living in the dark, especially from deep inside your heart. You are living in the dark. How dare you? How dare you will you laugh at somebody? Will you tease somebody who is blind? How dare you will you tease somebody or laugh at somebody who is deaf and dumb, that little child? They're trying to fit in the society. You keep throwing words at them. How dare you? How dare you? You should take yourself to be more important than somebody that's working with crutches. How dare you? I need to wake up. Wake up to the reality that indeed that mother, the parents of that child, they never ever wanted their child to be disabled. No. That mother that carried the pregnancy for you for 9 months and carried the pregnancy for him or her for 9 months, the same way they wanted their child to be physically fit and do anything physical. That is the same way their mother wanted them to be. That's the same way. By you not getting that opportunity, or by you getting that opportunity today, and the other person have that sort of limited mobility, doesn't mean that you are better than them. It doesn't mean so. It doesn't mean that you are important than them. It doesn't mean that indeed the society should actually accept you above them. No. But I'm sick. I'm sick of my community, Liberian community especially. I am sick of them, majority of them. Those of you that don't do it, fine. But those that continue to live in this stupid idea of teasing and laughing at people with person with disability, I'm sick and tired with you. And I'm here for you today. You got to stop it. And you got to stop it now. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. You got to stop it now. I remember many years ago, this is my own story, a little bit of my own story. I remember many years ago, just at the age of 2, my mother and the rest of the people have gone on the farm to work. They came back about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. Met me sick in the hands of my grandmother. Hot for fever. Accordingly, my grandmother, she made so many efforts trying to cool down the fever. But no way. My mother came from the farm and met me sick and lying down. Her handsome young man, just about 2 years old, supposed to be waking up and walking around and running around and start to do things. Sick. The fever couldn't come down that night. All efforts were made. The next morning by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and said I'm going to walk and go to the clinic. I wasn't born in the city, but in the interior part of Foya. Went to the hospital, went to the clinic or so. Skin hot. My mother with his handsome little boy. As I sat before you. Admitted and treatment started. The nurses, the doctors were moving here and there, trying to bring me back on earth. That the fever was too much. The temperature was too high. And I fought for several hours, according to the story. And later I regained some strength and I started coming back to myself. From one test to another, normally when children, even adults, when we are sick like that, and we are at the verge of recovering or so, the doctor will always come around. Sometimes they lift your hand, they lift this, they lift the other one, they lift your leg, and they lift the other one. They just want to see whether you're getting some strength, and they want to see, how the stability is. Whether if they lift your hand, it's not going to come down like that and just fall. And they tried the test on me, my hand, my left, my right, my left leg, the right leg. And over and over again, they said the doctor kept coming in, trying to see whether my body is really going along with the treatment. And so I've been tested every time and then. By the time the doctor realized that each time he put my right leg up, it comes down with just force. The muscles were not taking the stairs a little bit down, but it just come down. Oh. Try it over and over. It was the same. And later on, as the fever actually left the body, and I was okay and I was laughing like the little boy, little 2-year-old, wanting now to play or so. They called my mother in the room. Said the doctor wants to talk to you. So my mother went and sat down accordingly, as I was told later in life now. The doctor told her, "We got a news for you, but not a good one. But we have to tell you this news. Your handsome son that you brought here, yes, we brought the fever down. But we noticed something very strange on his right leg. We suspect that your son has suffered from polio. And so, Mom, we are sorry, but he's not going to be physically fit anymore. He will be limited in doing a lot of stuff. But you have your beautiful son. There's no medicine, there's no cure for it. Polio, once you get it, it's for life. But you can go home now. And accordingly, my mom told me that she thought the whole world just came down crashing on her. The beautiful son, the handsome son that she'd been moving around with. At that age too, when he's ready to move in the community, he's waiting from there, running here and there without falling. It's now with this disability. And then went home, but didn't accept the condition. Accordingly, my mom was moving from one prayer person to another, from one Muslim, from one pastor to another. Although she's a Muslim, but she was moving from one place to another, denying the fact that indeed her son had been diagnosed that he suffered from polio. He's now no longer going to be physically fit. My mother refused to accept it. Just because she loved me. She never expected this. That is not a 9-month pregnancy she carried. And from one person to another, she started moving, praying and trying to find a remedy, trying to find means that Max can have his right leg back, like the way he was born. And tireless, as she moved from one place to another and everything, and one person to another for prayers for help. And they keep telling her when she go to the hospital, tell her there's no cure for this. There's no cure. It was a strange thing. And some people started telling her that it's a witch. Somebody wished your son and everything. So because of that, they put in her head as well that it's a witchcraft, that maybe she could go somewhere, they have a prayer, and she will have her son back. But it didn't happen. Let me fast forward the story. Until later in life, myself, when school started and started school, I didn't know that this was going to be a challenge for me in life. I didn't know. I was taking myself to be like any other person. But I didn't know I was different to them. In their hearts, many of them. When I go to school, they would tease, they would laugh. And even if I fast forward as an adult in high school or so, when I want to speak when we are 4, 5, 6 together and everybody is talking, so when I want to open my mouth to say, nobody wants to listen to me. They look down because I'm disabled. I'm not part of them. And that went on for a long time. High school, everything. And even as I speak to you right now, we have people in the Liberian community in Liberia that are still living like that. When they see you with a disability, they don't see you as a human being. They see you as something else. So even that courtesy to recognize you as a human being, they don't want to do it. Yeah, we have them in our society. It is there. It is happening. Many times. It happened to me. Despite my little contribution I'm making. It is happening. You speak to somebody over the phone and you say, I want to come, I want to see the boss, I want to, and you introduce yourself and you say everything. You appear to that office. The same person you spoke with, that you hearing their voice and you can recognize that you spoke to them, they will in turn asking you, oh, are you the one? Discrimination is still there. Prejudice is there. It's there in our society. And I'm angry and fed up with it. And I'm going to face the bullies. And I want to encourage you If you have a disability, do not allow them to keep you down. Those words to keep you down. Do not allow them. Yesterday, because of their attitudes, what I wanted to do, because of their words in my ears and think what I wanted to do in life, who I wanted to be, the profession I wanted to become a doctor also, I was denied and I was told a lot. You are crippled. How will you hold a needle? You are crippled. How will you do this? How will you do that? And think, as a young person coming up, when you do not have somebody that you can look up to and say, this is my role model, my mentor. Anything the rest of the world tells you, you're going to believe it. And so I believe it. I didn't go for it. I have to stop. It's due to society. Because it's told me that indeed, I'm not physically fit, so I can be a doctor. It is happening in our society. Many occasions. Even for me to practice journalism, it was difficult in Liberia. They will look at you and tell you, but you cripple, how you do journalism. Those words, I still remember them. And I still see them. Those that put those words in my head. I thank God that my mom didn't listen to them. The rest of my parents didn't listen to them. But I know they were told many, many things. Why are you carrying this? But you will suffer a lot though to bring it up. Praise be to God. I'm here this afternoon. In addition to what I'm talking about, I saw a post on Facebook about it's not on Liberia. This person should be from another African country, and this disabled guy is sitting in a wheelchair. He's confirmed in a wheelchair. It was a wedding ceremony for him. His wife is physically fit, beautiful as well as the guy is handsome. And somebody drew this picture from somewhere and brought it to the attention of us with the Liberian people and posted it. I'm going to share with you the comments that were made. That's what prompted me to come here this afternoon. Let me talk to the disabled community. Let me tell my story as well. But let me encourage you as well to resist discrimination, to resist bullies. That when it happened to you, you got to give it back to them. When they do it, suck it back to them. It's no more time for you to sit and talk. The time is over. When they bring it to you, give it to them. I don't take it from anybody again. I know I can't change it. My parents wanted to change it. My mom wanted to change it, but it couldn't be changed. And so I accept it now and decide to live with it. And whatever contribution I have to make, let me make it. If you can't be part of me, do not laugh at me. And I'm angry with that post, the responses I saw from the Liberian people, which I'm going to share with you. I'm really angry. And that's why I'm doing this video. And this video is not only for Liberia, but for us, especially in the context of Africa. When we see disability, we feel that this individual is not human. But I have come here, I have seen where the part of the world I'm in today in the United Kingdom, where I'm seeing ministers sitting in wheelchairs, where I'm seeing ministers and representatives working with kings, where I am seeing now the people with disability have opportunity, and most of them are even in government in every sector also. You find them. Today, a majority of them are even the guy who owns one of the biggest companies, airline company they call Virgin Airline. It's a British. That guy has a disability. But the moment for us in Liberia, the child the child, come down with any kind of sickness or so, and they end up being disabled also. The only thing we do is to even tell the parents to get rid of that child. Yes, they can do it. I'm going to find this video and then come on. Let me put it. I'll come in one minute. 1 minute.
They're coming again, they're coming to fool us. We went down and out, we Liberia is the wonder who we are. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Liberians, let us stop corruption to rebuild our great nation. Liberians don't be international community for our problems.
All right, I'm back. Thank you very much. I was looking for some kind of video I want to share with you later on. But let me go to this post. Or let me just share my story with you as I go along. And I want to encourage you as well. Whatever form of disability they have, do not give up on them and send them to school. That's why when I go back home, I go from one school to another. I am talking against discrimination and bullying. And I'm trying to educate the children to tell them that it is bad to bully somebody because they look different. I have been taking that head on. But I'm here this afternoon. If yesterday my mother have agreed to them and said your child is disabled, he won't be able to do anything. He's not going to be useful. If she was going to listen to them and not even sending me to school, but just keeping me at home, which majority of them wanted. Of course, my mother didn't go to school. My father didn't go to school either or so. But that is it. If they would have kept me at home. They would have kept me to just be there. When they go on the farm, they set me down and I was there. The little I can do, I do it. But later I went to school. I started going to school. I am happy that where I am today, thank you, my sister. Where I am today, I am happy. I am happy that indeed my disability didn't hold me down. I kept in school. My mother never thought that I was going to finish with high school. She never even thought that I was going to finish with sixth grade. But I got done with the 6th grade. And she never thought I was going to finish with high school. I got done with high school. She never even thought that I was going to leave Foya and end up in Monrovia. But not only leaving Foya now, to her dismay, I just called her one day. I said, Mommy, I got a scholarship. I'm going to Cuba. She doesn't even know. I don't even know where Cuba is. She didn't know where Cuba is. What kind of country is that? I said, I don't know. Imagine. God lifted me up with all of my disability and with all the people that I dealt with who are physically fit. They were left. And I picked up and went to Cuba. Today I end up here in the United Kingdom. The reason I left Liberia for, I say I'm so hungry for education, but my parents couldn't afford to even take me through to university. Today I'm sitting here, at least with 2 degrees behind me. And my mother and my parents, they are all proud. Yesterday they told her that because of my disability, that she shouldn't do anything. They should just forget about me. Mafatu, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the insults you took and everything. We got to stop this life. Perhaps I got to tell this story and leave it behind. And at least it will be on record. On YouTube, years to come, people will watch it. Maybe my children would not even will not even show you what I'm about to show you here. They won't. Perhaps they will be too busy doing their little things. But I know tomorrow somebody will say, "Wow, so this man really did all of this. Nobody knew about it." But I'll tell you a little story. I will keep telling you, and to tell them that indeed disability does not mean inability. That I have seen people in the Western world here, in the United Kingdom here, who are seated in a wheelchair, but they're making huge difference in their community, in their society. Some people that we don't even in the context of Liberia or Africa, people that we don't even think that they are useful in society, that we can just see them and mock at them and laugh at them. They are very useful here. I will show you a video. Those that did it yesterday, I decided to deny them. I said, well, you know what? I will be somebody. I'll keep pushing. In my second degree, when I got finished, I said I want to study education. At the time, Ma Ellen used the word education is a mess in Liberia. You can share the video. You're welcome. Education is a mess in Liberia. I sat down here in London and I got concerned. If education, I started asking myself questions. If education is a mess in Liberia, who's supposed to make it great? It is not us with the Liberians. And I decided to take another student loans, and I went back to university and I read education. And when before I could finish, I was doing a part-time, and then I got to work. So I was doing part-time. It's if you do it full-time at 1 year, if you do part-time at 2 years. But because I wanted to work as well, I have to do part-time. And I gave myself time. I said, you know what? Before I graduate, I want to write a textbook for Liberia, for the Liberian children. And I told of a topic. I started thinking of different things to write. But I said, but you know what? I'm going to write on police and policing. I want our children to know about police and policing, about their own safety when they're crossing the road. Because I have witnessed several times I go to Liberia when I'm driving, people cross everywhere, including children. And I say I want to put something in the book as a textbook. When they read it in school, they will take their own security. That even when they go on the beach to play, they will after reading my book, they will be afraid that when somebody strange call them, they will not go to the person. Even when the person call them for candies or whatsoever it is. I said my book will teach the children to resist such temptation so that people can steal them away, and tell them about policing. That you don't even, that sometimes like our children in here, somebody finish college, they're going straight in the force, either army or police or immigration or so. Most of them don't even get time for a college degree or so. No. They go and start work right away. So maybe through my book, a child will say, well, I finished high school. There's no need. At least when I finish high school, I can join the army. I can finish high school, I can join the police and serve my country. So it's something like that I told of to share. This is the book. I want to show you because what I'm saying here, because of this bullying thing, maybe my children will not be able to tell my story tomorrow, as I will tell it now. I read the first book. Police officers are friends, not strangers. This is not smoke. There is no smoke. Nobody wants people to see it, just see that smoke. No, it's a whistle the ball blowing. That's my name under there. Police officers are friends, not strangers. This one target strictly 3rd to 6th grade. I went back home. I promoted this book. This book is being now accepted in the school curriculum. Okay, because when you write book, any country for that matter, you have to pass through the Ministry of Education. They have to evaluate the book to okay whether it's suitable. They qualify the book. That was during my early time. Then I wrote the second one. Yeah, the title of it, Corruption. My enemy now, my enemy forever. And then that's the front back of it. This book here, I wrote 2 versions of it, one for Sierra Leone and one for Liberia. So and then at the back of it is a foundation I created in my own name, the Maxson Kpakio Educational Foundation. And what I told of that if these books are put on the market and I make money out of it, it will go straight in the foundation account. And what I want to do, any money that's coming out of there is not going to come in my pocket, But I want to go from village to village, town to town, and look for children with disability and help them start even from ABC to high school level. Maybe before that child will even reach the high school level, the money will go up and we can send them to college. That's what I want to do for this disabled community in Liberia. So I wrote these 2 books. Let me tell you, this is what's happening now. My brother just came and he left, long time. This is what happening to me now. I started pushing these books for them to be inserted in the curriculum. Since then, up to now. No, they didn't go doing, because Madam Ellen time, it was just about a year left, so they couldn't do much. But however, they evaluated the book, they said the book is good. And they told me I should go sell it. I told them, I said, no, I want this book to go, the first book now, I want the book to go in the school curriculum so that at least this book can reach to every child in any village of Liberia. Because when it is a prescribed text, it will reach to, especially government schools, definitely every school will be forced to buy it. In that case, the project I want to do in which to sponsor disabled children to go to school, it will be successful. They didn't do it. I came back, then I wrote the second book now on corruption. This is during this term now. I went and promoted it and launched the book, gave to Education Ministry. They also read it again. They proved it and said, yeah, that book is good for our children. Up to now, I've been running behind them to insert these 2 books in the school curriculum. Nobody gave me attention because it's been politicized. Because I sit down here and check marks the government. And so, you see, the 23 months ago I spent in Liberia, and I just came December, I met people, tried to promote this book and whatsoever. This book is just being qualified, placed in the school, in the Ministry of Education textbook lodger is there as a sub material, and they told me I should go and sell it. So meaning telling me now to go negotiate with schools and things and sell it, which I don't want to do. I want it to be a prescribed test. If we are still using Ghanaian materials to teach our children as a prescribed text, why not our own? That's my point. That's why I'm refusing to go and negotiate. I could go and talk to the Catholic school system or so and sell it, and maybe they could buy it or so. But I don't want to do that. I want the government schools in those villages and things to read. The children, most of them are not going to stay there. They one day come to the urban area, and my book will also help them. Look at this. Look at the book about the corruption. It's happening everywhere. I'm not going to do that. So the books are kept. And so, based on this particular post I told you about, I decided to come and do the live today to tell you a little bit of my story, to document my story to you a little bit as well, to encourage members of the disabled community in Liberia. Please face the bullies. Do not run away from them. When they bully you, you got to stand with them. You got to stand and face them and pull it right back them. I have a disability. My mother had no choice at the age of 2 when I was. My limited disability doesn't even limit me to do anything. I do anything that anybody else can do. But yes, in the Liberian community, when I get there, that cripple man. In fact, they don't even call you by name. So long you have a disability, no. That cripple man, or that blind man, or that one that can't hear and talk. That's all a description. And people are still living in these dreams. Let me share you share with you some of my stuff again. I've been writing. I came here. I decided not to even just to sit down like that. I started advocacy. I said, look, even the UK government, I'm going to make them work. The prime minister, I will make you work and think, and my representative, I will make you work. All these letters you see here, not even all of them say. Just few I pick up this morning. Are letters that I wrote on behalf of Liberia and Liberians. I sat down in my room. I wrote these letters on behalf of Liberians. I want to share with you because this is a story as well. I'm not doing it as a boastful thing. But the way these guys are doing it, that disabled people in Liberia, we once you are disabled, you don't make any meaningful contribution in the society. It's a lie. It's a lie. This one, it was written. I wrote the Prime Minister. This was in 2018. I wrote the Prime Minister. You see, they've sealed that. You can see it. Number 10 Downing Street. That's the Prime Minister resident there. I think this was a response on the letter I wrote. And you can see my name, Maxson Kpakio there. I don't want anybody to say, oh yeah, this and that. I am writing on behalf, dear Mr. Kpakio, I'm writing on behalf of the Prime Minister to thank you for your letter of 15 May 2018. The Prime Minister very much appreciates the time you have taken to write to her. At the time it was Theresa May. As the Foreign and Commonwealth Office has responsibility for the matters you raised, I am forwarding your letter to them so that they are aware of your views. Thank you once again for writing. Yours sincerely. That's the corresponding officer for the Prime Minister. I wrote certain communication that was about Liberia. I think that's the time I wrote. I was calling for the UK government to reopen the embassy in Liberia. I sat down in my room. I wrote that letter. This one I wrote Prince Harris, and that was a response. I wrote Prince Harris, and I invited him in the letter. I invited him to visit Liberia, but to mainly meet with people, children with disability, because his mother was somebody that was Princess Diana was somebody that was close with disadvantaged people. So I wrote Prince Harris, the Duke of Duchess and Sussex of Sussex, to go and visit Liberia. And then this was their response. Thank you very much, because that he and his wife. Dear Mr. Kpakio, thank you very much for your letter of November 4th, in which you invite the Duke of Sussex to visit Liberia. I am grateful to you for taking the trouble to write as you did. Currently, there are no plans for His Royal Highness to travel to Liberia. Therefore, I regret that it will not be possible for the Duke to accept. I'm sorry to have to send you this disappointing response, but do hope you understand. The letter comes with His Royal Highness' best wishes. And you never get these responses from our leaders. You never. Now, this is different. As you can see, it's different. This is the House of Parliament. Like my representative, that's my representative there. I wrote a communication as well. Okay. I wrote a communication to the Secretary of State at then. That was the year 2015. And let me just read the response. Mr. Kpakio, dear Mr. Kpakio, thank you for attending my surgery. That's my representatives are telling me, because I want to meet him to discuss certain issues. For attending my surgery and for your recent email updating me on your circumstances. I am writing to inform you that I have written to the Secretary of State for Work and Pension on your behalf to raise your complaint, and I enclose a copy of my correspondence. Even the government of the United Kingdom, I've been complaining them. I will read my MP, I complain. And this is another letter. Like I said, I'm doing it as a history, because I don't know my children going to ever, tell you guys that this is what Daddy used to do or so. Because somebody have triggered me to do this by bullying disabled people online. Then I wrote a letter to the government through my MP, my representative, because of the way they were treating asylum seekers in the UK. So I wrote to complain the government. Thank Mr. Kpakio. This is December 2014. Thank you for coming to see me at my surgery at the Phoenix Center. I am writing to inform you that I have written to the Secretary of State, the Home Office, on your behalf to raise your concerns about the government's policy for asylum seekers and refugees. I have enclosed a copy of my letter. I will write to you again when I have a reply. In the meantime, if there is anything else I can do for you, please do not hesitate. In Liberia, you will never get a reply from your representative or your senator. No way. You write a letter, you can't get it. I've tried several times. You can't. But you see this. Okay. Then, okay. These are some of the letters. And let me see. I think I got one other letter here. Okay. I got one letter here that I wrote many years ago, December 2018. This was a reply to one of my letters. As you can see, that's this Commonwealth office there, and this was a minister then. That was December 2018, and this is it. So when I wrote each time we write a letter, we write through our representative. So when the representative write and the reply will come through them, as you can see my name in here. So if you see that, thank you for your letter. That's the minister addressing my MP now, my representative. Thank you for your letter of November 12 November to the Prime Minister on behalf of one of your constituents. As you can see there, Mr. Maxson Kpakio. I'm not going to show you the other one because of my address. Okay. So this is how they do it here. So the minister now, the letter I wrote to the minister through my MP send it, put a cover letter and send it. When the minister is replying, they will send a reply to your MP, and your MP will attach a cover letter on it and then send it to you as well. So that's how they do it. Let me read a letter to you, and so you can get why I wrote the letter to the Prime Minister or to the government of the United Kingdom in 2018. Okay. I set out to the official response to Mr. Kpakio's letter of 15 May 2018 to the Prime Minister, and also in my reply to your email of 26 September. We are very much aware of the many challenges that Liberia still faces. The UK is a leader in the global campaign to eliminate corruption. That's the time I wrote the UK government. I was so angry with hearing about 25 million, this and that, getting missing and what's else. So I wrote the UK government. I said, you have responsibility to stop corruption happening in Liberia, because most of the money that these people are making, they're banking overseas. They may not be banking in the UK, but they're banking overseas, the government officials. And so you need to take steps. So I wrote them the letter, and that's why they reply me. The government sent a reply to the minister. The UK is a leader in the global campaign to eliminate corruption. In 2016, we hosted the Anti-Corruption Summit, which resulted in commitments from around the world to take measures to eliminate corruption. We engaged with the government of Liberia on the need for transparency and to combat corruption. The majority of UK development funding to Liberia is spent on via multilateral agencies such as the World Bank and the Africa Development Bank, as well as the European Union. In all cases, every measure is taken to ensure effectiveness, accountability, and transparency of those programs. Our embassy has a regular dialogue with the government of Liberia at the most senior levels. Together with our international partners, we have urged the government of Liberia to quickly investigate the issues that have prompted recent media reports of missing currency and publish their findings. This process has begun. We will consider our response once we have greater clarity on the findings. Along with our international partners, we regularly raise the need for reconciliation and to address recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Funds have been allocated for the UN's Peacebuilding Fund to help with this process, and the United Kingdom is one of the largest contributors to the UN Peace Fund. Now, when I wrote that letter, I talk about a lot of things, including seeking help. I think that was the first letter I wrote about. I was seeking help on behalf of Liberia for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code. So when they wrote the letter, they included everything that I wrote. Now, secondly, in 2014, as a disabled guy here, I sat down in my house. I wrote this piece here. This piece is calling for the revamping of the educational sector of Liberia and build a quality educational system. I wrote this thing, is very long. I sat down for hours. First I started with national exam, that we should kick it out. It does, you know, I mean, it's not making any impact in our society, the national exams. Also, this is what I wrote, and I made all recommendations to the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf then to see about us having a national conference on revamping the educational sector of Liberia. You see how long it is? Very, very long. I went to Liberia. I went to promote this, to talk to even the education, a committee on education in both houses. Also, I didn't get any attention, and I left. From my heading to this government again, I took the same paper. I went back to tell them that there's a need that we revamp the educational sector of Liberia. Up to now, nobody giving me attention. This is a paper that I took my time to write, giving suggestions as to how we can go about to revamp the educational sector of Liberia and build a system. And up to now, nobody. Yes, I have a disability, but I can still make a huge difference. Now let me come to this post now. I'm going to show you the post. This is the post. This is the post this our brother posted. I think he copied from somewhere and just posted and shared it. Liberian girls, the challenge is up for you, that I can know who love mobile money challenge. My data finish. That's how the Liberian girls can say. Please send me transportation, babe. That's how the Liberian girls can say. Then he asked the question, can you marry him? Could this be love? And this is the guy they were talking about. So the question now, can you marry him because he is disabled? He just got married. He has his lovely wife that there. As you can see, he just got married. You see him there with huge family. The wedding went on fine, I guess. And they're sharing love and passion. They care everything. Now, this brother, yes, he's disabled as we can see. This brother posted this thing yesterday. My people, I just about to come to the end. I want you to listen to the responses of your Liberian people. Those that are in Liberia, I'm sure majority of them, all of them are responded. They are based in Liberia. They're sitting now in Liberia. And I'm going to share what their responses are. Let me just show you, just quick. You'll not say let me see. You'll not say I'm reading from something else, somewhere else. These are the responses under this post. Some of them laughing emoji because of the question, will you marry him? You see, these are the responses. Some of them, I mean, majority of them very, very negatively. So you can see the story, right? That's it. Can you marry him over money? Can you marry him over money? That's the question the brother posed. Him, one side, the money, one side. Can you marry him? And these are the comments so far. This guy, I don't know the woman or the guy. There's somebody who's responded by the name of Mimi. I think I gotta show you. I gotta show you guys this thing, because this thing is talking about anti-bullying. This one said, I would rather take the money than to marry him because he has a disability. At least this guy says something. Do you need help? This is not funny at all. The guy who posted, this guy is asking the guy who posted this particular thing. And somebody said you are joking. And at least, the other guy said, congratulations, sweetie. You made the right choice. Thank you very much. As you can see, I want you yourself to see. As you can see, I guess this is what white people felt about black people 100 years ago. Now it sounds very funny. Why would anyone find this post appropriate? Somebody said something positive there. The other person laughing. Joyful. Joy come back. I just want you to see how bullying is embedded in our society. And this person said, yes, if he love, care, and understand me, why not in life? Everything is understanding in love. So the other person said, once it doesn't matter disability, I will marry him. So long there is love and care. You see? And the person, okay, the other person said disability can come to anybody at any time. No one is immune for disability. That's good. And the other person asked the question, wedding? Can you marry him? And the person said, wedding? Mobile money is better than marrying a disabled. Can you imagine this? Mobile money is better than marrying a disabled. And this is what I said under that post. Let me see. Let me expand it. This is why I said under that post. As you have already seen it, let me just turn the camera around and read it. This is why I said under the post. I am disabled. I was just 2 years old when I suffered from polio, leaving my right leg affected. You take your mobile money over me and my disability. But God the Almighty, my parents, including my family members, will definitely choose me over mobile money. Also, just remember that disability is not bought and is not out there for sale. Liberia, some of you guys are sick. And all disability people are even far better, far smarter than some of you responding under this post with negative comments and using the laughing emoji. I may not have been happy about my limited mobility, but as I cannot do anything about it to change, to regain my physical ability, I am glad that God empowered me and still empowering me to touch those who are physically fit positively. Thank you to Honorable Dixon Dole for this post. This is how we get to know them. Full of nothing but low sense of reasoning, and full of prejudice at the same time. That was my response to them. And I'll keep responding to them. So, my fellow colleagues, you are disabled today. You have a challenge. But if you can make it little by little, educate yourself, ask for help, and get education. The society you live in is a closed society. Majority of them do not want to get out of that zone they're in. They want to continue to be there. And they feel that they are more handsome or beautiful than you. But do not believe it. Do not accept it. You are more important to the Almighty God. You are more important to those that will come around you to appreciate you, to recognize you as a human being. And you are more important to the society as well. You are significant and you can make a huge impact in the Liberian society. Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this just before I take leave of you. Let me show you this. In the UK, if somebody like this was in Liberia, they're only laughing. This guy is now making money. Speech problem. I have no copyright for this. Just a disclaimer. I do not have copyright for this. It's just for educational purpose. I'm using it. Facebook, YouTube. They call this guy the lost voice guy. And this is the time he won the Britain's Got Talent. He won it. Imagine over 10,000 people can apply for this show. The winner get about, I think, 100,000 pounds. And this guy, from one stage to another, he won this talent show. Listen to him.
Obvious reasons, I'm also known as the lost voice guy.
Okay.
So he talked to the
How
machine.
long have you lost your voice?
I just knew you were going to ask something that I hadn't thought about beforehand. So please excuse the awkward silence while I type out my answer. I've been speechless for 37 years.
Wow. Tell me why you decided to enter the show this year.
I think I entered Britain's Got Talent for the same reason everyone does. To meet Ant and Dec.
Okay, so that's him there. Let me see whether let me see. Okay, let me go a little bit info. So in the context of Liberia, this guy,
You've been a fantastic audience. Goodbye.
see, yes, with all of that, those challenges, his parents didn't give up on him. They didn't give up on him. They kept pushing him. They kept believing him, and he started believing himself. Today, he's making money. They invite him to go all the way to the Hollywood to go perform. I mean, he's a comedian now, and he entertains people a lot. He's living on it. In the context of our society in Liberia, this one, they will laugh at you. From home, they will be laughing at you. In your community, in your yard, in their yard, they will be laughing at them. They go to school, they will be laughing at them. And just tell the person, say, you're not fit to be somebody. Anyway, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been useful. for some of us.
Now that we can hold
me,
on, move on, it's time to move on.
I've decided to save my voice. I'm going to make use of it now. The advocacy will continue. We'll continue to speak against those ills in our society, irrespective of what.
Yeah, no attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now that we stand divided, we go fall flat. Development that we can boast of, educating your fellow man, chat for riches. Costing the foreign invest all our hitches. Let me call you one take, you achievement of
Yes, no, thank you very much.
We die in poverty, yeah, no attention for the disability. Forget the war, being sorry and all that. Now that we stand divided, we go fall flat.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you.